I'm Von Belinario from One News and News 5 from the Philippines.
Hey,
Hi, Jess. It's nice to see you virtually and congratulations in advance for this new project. My first question is, how did the idea of creating a film about four friends reuniting amid the international crisis or international economic crisis come about?
how did it come about? It came about from just kind of. I guess I always like research, when I'm doing a project, and so it came about from research of these. I wrote a book review about Sam Bankman-Fried, the crypto guy who went to prison, and I started off the back of that. It made me read more and more about these types of people, and I also started listening to them on podcasts. And unlike the famous rich guys of the past, J.P. Morgan and Frick and Rockefeller, you can actually hear the voices of some of the richest and most powerful people in the world now, because they're often available talking in public, and so the tone of voice of people of these guys talking started to become more and more in my head until I maybe needed to get it out of my head onto paper.
Oh, interesting. Interesting story, Jesse. Something to look forward to. Of course, congratulations because this is your feature-length directorial debut. So can you share the experience on working on this film and how was it different from your previous projects?
Yeah, it was. It was. There were two reasons for we did it really fast, and one reason is Casey HBO kind of wanted it fast. I kind of wanted to stay in the same news environment when I was writing it as when it went out in the world. But the other reason is I was really scared of directing for the first time, and I thought a bit like doing a parachute jump, best to be pushed out of the plane, right, and say you're going, do your bungee jump, not have too much time at the top of the tower to think about it. So I was pleased when it seemed like we should do this really fast. It meant I just had to run at it, and I couldn't think about it too much. I surrounded myself with a lot of colleagues and friends from Succession. Lisa Molinaro would sit next to me, who was the script supervisor, the first AD, Christo Morse, the editor, Bill Henry, Kenishi, who did this, had bring the sound team, both camera operators, Gregor and Ethan are from Succession. So it was really, I got myself a big comfort blanket of people who I really trusted to tell me if I was doing it wrong, or who I could ask questions without being embarrassed of my ignorance too. So yeah, that was my technique, was to do it fast, but with a very trusted group around me.
Wow, very reliable director. Of course, my third question is, as a writer and director, what do you hope the audiences take away from this film?
Huh. Yeah, what do I hope? I always like to leave that open to them, because if you write something which has one message, I think then that can. I react against that. As when I'm watching a show and I feel like I'm being force fed something, it's enough. So I'd be happy for people to find it funny, a bit scary, and interested to get to know these guys. The message, I'd leave up to them, what they think it says. Hopefully two different people would disagree, because there should be enough in there to provide a few different answers to that question,
Yeah,
I hope.
seeing the trailer, Jesse, I find it so interesting, something to look forward to. What was it working with the great set of cast?
Oh my God. That we only had nearly just over 20 days to shoot in to make the film. It's not much, but we had no problem. We never had these long days or reshoots or anything. And the reason was because they knew, even though there's a lot of words and it's very, very, very wordy script, like a play really, they all learnt it, and they were all, as soon as the camera was rolling, you had material that you could put in the film. I could have cut this film from every single first take they did maybe that wouldn't be the very, very finest of their work, but it was all usable from the very first moment you were rolling. And if it hadn't have been like that, we wouldn't have made this very ambitious schedule to make the film and to get it out. So, and also just on a personal level, they just happened. It happens to be I didn't know them before, any of these four actors. They're all just very nice human beings. So it was, although we were making a film about some pretty difficult characters, we had a pretty nice time.
Wow, hearing your stories, Jesse, makes me um excited to watch the film. Of course,
Oh, good.
congratulations from the Philippines. Thank you,
Thank
Jesse.
you. Nice to speak to you. Thank you.
Yeah, likewise. Bye.
Bye bye.